Welcome back, fans, to what is easily the most insane, game-changing, and jaw-dropping story we have ever shared on this channel. If you are just joining us or have been totally offline for the last 2 weeks, you better buckle up. We are witnessing a total anomaly, a massive sports story that completely defies logic and common sense. It shatters every expectation and rewrites the entire ranking of women's tennis. Forget those predictable top-seeded stars. Forget the old rivalries that have hogged the headlines for the past few seasons. The entire tennis world is in total shock. At the heart of this massive earthquake is a young, incredibly gifted athlete from the Philippines, Alexandra Eala. This is way more than a simple upset. An upset is just a lucky day where a top seed has a bad night while an underdog plays the match of her life. No, Alexandra Eala has orchestrated an unprecedented run to the finals that has been systematic, relentless, and cold. And she is delivering an awe-inspiring dismantling of the sport's absolute elite. We are talking about a historic gauntlet. Her path to this championship match reads like a legendary list of the modern royalty in women's tennis. Eala did not just sneak through an easy bracket. She walked through fire, defeating Leylah Fernandez, Jasmine Paolini, Elena Rybakina, and Coco Gauff. She has taken the best the game can offer, stared them down, and come out on top every time. To really get how huge this is, look at the current state of the game. For years, we have lived in an era ruled by a very specific group of elite stars. You have Swiatek, the undisputed queen of the tennis court. Her tactical brilliance and massive topspin make her unstoppable, especially when the stakes are at their highest. Then you have Coco Gauff, that amazing American talent with supreme athleticism and defensive mastery, whose sheer willpower made her a global superstar and a true Grand Slam champion. Then there is Elena Rybakina, the ice-cool server whose effortless power can blast anyone off the court on any given day. These women, and a few others, have built an almost impenetrable wall at the top of the rankings. They are the absolute final bosses of the tennis world. For a young rising star, just winning a set off these titans is a massive career milestone. Beating one is a headline. Beating all of them in a row during one tournament? That is the stuff of legends. It is a movie script that Hollywood would reject for being way too unrealistic. Yet, Alexandra Eala just made it real. This young woman, carrying the dreams of an entire nation on her shoulders, stepped onto the sport's biggest stages and played with a veteran's poise and a champion's heart, while absolutely refusing to be intimidated. Coming from the Rafa Nadal Academy, we knew she had massive potential. We saw her shine in the juniors and win those historic junior Grand Slam titles, and her steady climb up the pro rankings. But potential is only a promise. Execution is what makes you great. What we have seen during this tournament is the sudden, explosive realization of all that promise. The tennis world is stunned because Eala has completely bypassed the traditional learning curve. She did not just knock on the door of the elite. She kicked it down. People feel this run from the busy streets of Manila to the lawns of Wimbledon. From the clay in Paris to the hard courts of New York. Every pundit and former pro player, and every analyst who predicts this sport has been forced to tear up their notes and watch in silence. This is a massive watershed moment and a turning point in history, where a new name has permanently etched itself into the minds of every tennis fan on earth. Let's jump into a full match-by-match breakdown of this truly miraculous journey. To really appreciate her road to the finals, we have to dissect the tactical and physical and psychological battles Alexandra Eala fought and won against the absolute best. The gauntlet started with a spectacular clash against Leylah Fernandez. This matchup alone was enough to build massive hype. Leylah Fernandez, a Grand Slam finalist known for her grit and those sharp left-handed angles, and her ability to feed off the crowd's energy. For Eala, facing Fernandez was like stepping into a mirror. Both are amazing left-handed players with incredible fighting spirit and the ability to redirect pace with insane accuracy. The fans expected a grueling, high-intensity battle, and they definitely were not disappointed. From the very first point, it was a tactical chess match played at 100 miles per hour. Fernandez immediately tried to force her aggressive baseline style on the match, taking the ball early and trying to rush Eala into errors. But Eala, showing new maturity in her movement, refused to be pushed back. She held her ground on the baseline, absorbing pace and using her heavy cross-court forehand to pin Fernandez back. What stood out was Eala's exceptional defensive transitioning. Whenever Fernandez found an angle, Eala was right there, not just to get the ball back. She neutralized that aggression with deep, looping shots, effectively resetting every high-stakes rally. You cannot overstate the mental grit needed to outgrind a player as tenacious as Fernandez. Eala didn't just win with her racket, she won with her mind. She proved she had the stamina and tactical patience to survive the trenches. Surviving Fernandez was only the prologue. The next chapter brought a new challenge: Jasmine Paolini. Paolini is the ultimate modern counterpuncher. After a phenomenal season, her name has skyrocketed up the world rankings. Paolini has established herself as one of the smartest and most physically demanding players on the professional tour. She is a wall that hits back. Tracking down every ball, she forces opponents to hit multiple winners just to claim a single point. Against Paolini, the danger is overplaying. Frustration builds as your best shots float back, and the temptation to risk unforced errors becomes overwhelming. This is where Eala's tennis IQ truly took over. Instead of hitting through Paolini, Eala delivered a masterclass in point construction. She used vicious slices to break the rhythm, dragging Paolini out of her comfort zone. Eala leaned on the drop shot, a daring tactic against such a fast player, executing it with surgical precision. By forcing Paolini to sprint forward before lobbing or passing her, Eala completely broke the Italian's rhythm. It was a beautiful display of all-court tennis. Eala proved she is no baseline basher, but a shotmaker with a deep understanding of court geometry. She dismantled Paolini's defense piece by piece. It was an exhausting task, yet Eala handled it with the calm of a seasoned veteran. Then came the quarterfinals against Elena Rybakina, the Ice Queen, a completely different beast altogether. If earlier matches were about grit and tactics, this showdown was about surviving raw, unadulterated power. Rybakina possesses arguably the most lethal serve in the game today, with flat, penetrating ground strokes that leave opponents zero time to react. Facing Rybakina is like trying to defuse a bomb under heavy artillery fire. The strategy is simple in theory, but nearly impossible in practice. Protect your serve at all costs and pray for a window on hers. Eala's return game in this match was nothing short of miraculous. By reading the toss and anticipating direction, Eala put an astonishing percentage of those massive first serves back into play. But simply returning the ball isn't enough against the Kazakh star. If you float a return, the point is immediately over. Eala used a very compact swing, blocking returns deep down the middle to eliminate those angles for Rybakina's aggressive first strikes. Once the rally started, Eala consciously avoided giving Rybakina any pace to feed off. She used high, heavy topspin balls, forcing Rybakina to generate pace from uncomfortable heights and inducing many unforced errors from the former Wimbledon champion. The reflexes Eala showed in high-pressure moments prove she has the tools to handle the tour's heaviest hitters. It was a victory of agility over artillery and anticipation over pure velocity. It felt as if the tennis gods were actively testing the very limits of human endurance. The semifinal presented the ultimate challenge: Iga Swiatek, the world #1 and the undisputed dominant force of this era. Beating Iga Swiatek requires playing perfect tennis. You must endure her suffocating topspin, her incredible movement, and the heavy psychological weight of her aura. Swiatek doesn't just win, she overwhelms them, breaking their spirit with relentless intensity. When Eala stepped onto the court against Swiatek, the atmosphere was electric. This was David versus Goliath. Swiatek started with her trademark intensity, trying to dictate with that massive forehand, but Eala held firm. Perhaps channeling her training on Mallorca's clay, Eala matched Swiatek spin for spin. Her left-handed forehand into Swiatek's backhand became the central battleground. Eala found enough depth and weight in her shots to prevent Swiatek from stepping inside the baseline. More importantly, Eala showcased an absolute refusal to be intimidated by the #1. When Swiatek hit incredible winners, Eala didn't flinch. She simply reset, refocused, and continued to execute her game plan. The pivotal moments came during crucial break points. Swiatek, used to opponents crumbling under pressure, was in for a shock. She found a player in Eala who actually elevated her level when backed into a corner. Eala saved break points with audacious winners down the line, essentially taking the racket out of the world number one's hands. As the match progressed, you could see the frustration clearly building in Swiatek. That unbeatable aura was cracking. Eala wasn't just hanging on, she was actively dictating the terms of engagement. When Eala finally secured match point, the stadium erupted. She had done the impossible. She had outplayed, outthought, and outlasted the best player alive, but the gauntlet was incredibly far from over. The tennis world demanded one more titanic clash to solidify this run. Enter Coco Gauff, the reigning superstar of American tennis. If Swiatek was the test of strategy, Gauff was the ultimate test of pure, unbridled athleticism and mental fortitude. Gauff's ability to cover the court is unmatched. She turns defense into offense in a heartbeat and feeds off the crowd's energy like no one else on tour. Facing Gauff after the emotional and physical toll of the Swiatek match seemed impossible. Yet, Alexandra Eala stepped up. This was a physical war of attrition. The rallies were brutally long, stretching corner to corner. Gauff used her incredible speed to track down shots, forcing Eala to hit extra balls constantly. The key to Eala's massive victory here was her aggressive court positioning. Knowing she couldn't outrun Gauff, Eala changed the game. She crowded the baseline on second serves, snatching away time and forcing Coco into a corner right away. She attacked the net with purpose. She knew that ending points quickly was her only escape from the brutal baseline wars where Gauff usually owns her opponents. Eala fired lethal approach shots, then showed off incredible touch with some silky volleys at the net. It was a slugfest, a modern-day heavyweight battle. When the match hung in the balance, it was Eala's pure, unshakable confidence that pushed her across the finish line. She trusted her game, let her racket fly even when the pressure was suffocating. She played through the nerves, taking down a world-class athlete to claim her spot in the championship final. This run beating Fernandez, Paolini, Rybakina, Swiatek, and Gauff isn't just luck. It is a masterclass in what it takes to win in professional tennis today. Eala had to dismantle the grinders, the big servers, the tacticians, and the pure athletes. She proved she belongs with the best. She faced every style imaginable, every difficult hurdle, and she found a way to win every single time. Looking at her tactical shifts, her mental toughness, and her conditioning, it's clear we're looking at a player who finally has the full package. Alexandra Eala isn't a rising star anymore. She has evolved into a legitimate powerhouse of the game right before our eyes, ending this crazy journey as a champion. The tennis world is still trying to wrap its head around this. Eala's path to the finals is a legendary story that will be told for years. It's bigger than just sports. It's a massive win for the human spirit, a result of years of grinding and total focus on her craft. She had total faith in herself when the odds were stacked against her. For the Philippines and all of Southeast Asia, this moment is absolutely historic. Eala has sparked a total tennis revolution. She's shown millions of kids watching at home that it doesn't matter where you're from, you can win. Even when the old guard seems unbeatable, greatness is within reach if you're willing to do the work and never, ever back down from the fight. She has broken through every barrier, changing the game for every tennis player coming out of her region. The impact of this victory will drive a whole new generation to grab a racket and chase the highest honors in the sporting world. The WTA Tour just got a major wake-up call. The status quo has been officially wrecked. The era of the predictable top 10 has been blown wide open by a player who refuses to follow the script. Alexandra Eala has officially warned the locker room. There's a new threat on the tour, and she isn't scared of anyone. Win or lose in the final, her legacy in this tournament is already set in stone for the history books. She gave us the greatest underdog run in modern tennis. Thanks for joining me for this look into a truly historic moment in the world of sports. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more tennis updates, don't forget to hit that like button right now. It helps us reach more fans like you. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive, a match review, or a reaction. We'll keep following the wild and changing world of pro tennis as it happens. The finals are coming up fast, and trust me, You do not want to miss a single point. Until then, keep your eyes on the court, and I'll see you in the next one.